This is GBN Royal I'm Nana a Queer. Meghan Markle. Can things get any worse? After the unsavoury, ill-judged disaster tourism episode, which saw Meghan and Harry surveying the damage of the LA fires, the pair have been feeling the backlash of new bullying allegations, which have just surfaced. Meghan Markle's behaviour, some claimed, led to them seeking therapy after their experience working with her. And Vanity Fair published a scathing report on Meghan Markle in an article in January, which brought to light a number of new bullying allegations, including claims that Meghan had treated ex-employees with mean girls behaviour that left them needing therapy, which is ironic coming from a couple who are supposed to be advocates of mental health. They appear to have left a trail of broken people behind them. Remember that famous Piers Morgan walkout? I was actually on the show that day talking about the Oprah interview, and he said that he didn't believe a word that Meghan had said in that interview with Oprah. Meghan then made claims of mental health. His comments sparked a record 58,000 complaints to Ofcom, that's the UK media regulator, which later rejected the complaints, however saying that limiting his views would be a chilling restriction of free expression. Piers lost his job over that. That's the power that Meghan Markle wielded back then. Or do you remember the time when host Tom Bradbury, who was actually very good friends with William and Kate, asked Meghan how she was coping during their tour of southern Africa? And even though she was surrounded by pure poverty of those who were far, far worse off than her and had everything to feel sorry for themselves about, she could only feel sorry for herself. When asked whether she was okay, she replied, "Thanks, but nobody ever asks her how she's doing." So it seems sort of ironic that both her and Harry could be perpetrators of behaviour that would affect the mental health of those around them negatively. People claiming that they need therapy after dealing with them. If it was only one person complaining about how they'd behaved, then I'd get it. But it's not just one person. This level of people who have taken offence at how they've been treated by the couple is unprecedented. The Sussexes appear also to have a problem with staff retention. They don't seem to be able to hang on to anyone. Back in September last year, The Hollywood Reporter included claims about the Duchess that were extremely critical. One in particular where an ex-employee had said that Meghan was a dictator in high heels. The article actually read, "Why did they all leave? What explains the churn?" And in quotes, "Everyone's terrified of Meghan." A source close to the couple claimed, "She belittles people. She doesn't take advice. They're both poor decision makers. They change their minds frequently. Harry is a very, very charming person, no airs at all, but he's very much an enabler, and she's just terrible." The latest list of complaints have been the catalyst for the hastening of the couple's descent down the Hollywood hills. And if reports are to be believed, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were also distressed by the Vanity Fair piece and are keeping a low profile.
At GB News, we believe in the power of free speech. We're not afraid to ask the tough questions, challenge the status quo, and give you a voice. While others silence dissent, we champion the truth. By becoming a GB News member, you're not just supporting free speech, you're defending it. Please consider supporting us today. Together, we'll hold the powerful to account and make sure that your voice is always heard. Simply go to gbnews.com/support and stand with us for what matters most.
They've been rarely seen outside their Montecito mansion. But what possibly could go wrong next? Yep, Donald Trump. He's not going to put up with any of the baloney, is he? They may find themselves, or Harry in particular, looking for somewhere else to live. And let's hope it's not the UK. Thanks for watching. I'm Nana Aquare, and if you want more, don't forget to subscribe to the GBN Royal YouTube channel or check out my latest video. Hi, I'm Nana Aquare. This is GBN Royal. The Sussexes are in real trouble. Dire straits, in fact. It seems everything they touch turns to dust. Their timing is always off. When they have control, they make bad judgments like launching a website and selling jams in between announcements of cancer from the royal family. Anyone with an ounce of compassion would reconsider the timing, which is why that, alongside not bothering to communicate with the dying father who, by all counts, helped her, Meghan, get to where she is, makes people disbelieve the empathy shown when the cameras are rolling. In the latest twist, an act of God stood between Meghan and the launch of her new Netflix show, With Love, Meghan. It's really not looking good. This was frankly make or break for her. Instead of being able to demonstrate her homemaking skills, not in her own house, by the way, it had to be postponed because after many had their worldly possessions burnt to a crisp in the worst blaze in LA's history, Meghan Markle hollowly cankering around in a fake kitchen would have only served to remind us all of just how vacuous her life must be, that she's got so much time on her hands she can spend it freezing flowers into ice cubes. What use is that? Surely there are far more important things like family, which is why nobody believes the latest act of so-called compassion that many are calling disaster tourism. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry decided to tour the LA wreckage and visit areas that had been scorched to the ground so they could deliver hugs and comfort to those who had lost everything. And they went only where it would seem the cameras were rolling. Now, I don't know about you, but the last people I would be interested in seeing at that time would be them. Call me a cynic, but in my view, it smacked of, oh dear, your house has burnt down, but ours is still there. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying their so-called compassion. From a pair who are so vindictive and lacking in forgiveness that they can't bring themselves to take both their children to see all their grandparents. Thomas Markle was at death's door, and so angry are they still over a picture that he sold, even though their whole raison d'etre has been selling their stories in books, documentaries, you name it, they've done it, and made a fortune in the process. Any form you could think of to make money to sell their families down the river is acceptable to them. Yet now they're showing compassion to people that they've never even met on what comes across as yet another faux royal tour. I'm not buying it for a second. I don't believe they care. Meghan in particular needs to stay current. In my view, that's why she's doing this. She needs to get her show off the ground. And if the focus comes off her, how can she remind people that her new show will be coming soon?